such
you got to be proud
Look,
of that.
that is code name Mary. You're not the one.
You're done.
At that point, you need to get in.
So you can see the milk. There's no way about what.
I know. I keep telling him to try to come back, and he just looks at me like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. We're just pretty much. Also, callers are wondering if Greg, my brother, who we've had on the show many times, is he sporting a Beaumont haircut?
Slightly.
It's a slight mont.
Well, it ain't. That was falling out.
What's because you wear that helmet all the time?
I just kind of cut it low, you know.
Hey, and
But look, I got a mini mullet. So
yeah, you got Beaumont with mullet in the back.
Well, not real. I'm thinking about growing them Joe Dirt mullets.
Also, a lot of calls, people want to know how much older Greg is than I am. Greg is not the oldest. He's actually the youngest. He just looks older.
Okay. There you go.
Well, I'm just telling you, people are calling about it. I'm not.
So, Rick, people want to know how come Kurt is not in on this family moment.
Well, you know, Kurt Jarvis has made us all uncomfortable, and the thing about him dating my sister, and I did bring this up on the show. The joke will be on Kurt, and you know, his just having to deal with all of us and having to deal with trying to be part of these kind of events. We will eventually destroy Kurt Jarvis once and for all, and I want y'all to know I will have a maniacal laugh on the show because what appears to be my weakest moment may be my strongest. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it could be.
Welcome to Charlotte's Web.
That's right. To the phones. Also, I would like to stop the calls for Mississippi State. Wondering if you would take the Mississippi State job. From what I can understand, you're retired and good with.
Coach, my dad called and said, just could you personally ask him if he would pretty please come out of retirement and put your name in the list? Coach, we need you over at State. I mean, come on, Coach.
Well, there's no way, because, heck, we'd go over there and try to run the football and run the option and everything like that, get everybody mad, and we'd be right back where we started.
But people be sitting there with the Southeastern Conference champion going, I just didn't enjoy that. All we do is run the ball, play defense. I like this trophy, but it wasn't much fun. But let me ask you this, you throw it in all over the field now. Y'all enjoying it? Is that fun?
For your 10 games to go home?
Is that good? Of course, can't find many national championships from teams that throw it all over the field. But anyway, let's go to Brant in Nashville. Brant, a former player, part of the era, played at Jacksonville State from '89 to '92. Brant, what's going on, buddy?
Morning, guys.
Hey.
Monkey grass.
Hey, thanks for calling. Glad you're here.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I was sitting here on hold listening to the radio, and you guys were going over some of the highlights, and you kind of talked about me jumping off sides there. For a minute.
Was that you? Oh my gosh, Brant, was that you that on the key play that moved?
Yeah, that was me.
All right, let's Christopher Columbus. You can find Brant moving again and jumping offside.
But that's the one we was arguing about. That used to be legal. Remember, and they changed the rule, and but we didn't know the rule.
It looked like a sneeze to me.
Right, sure. Right.
Well, yeah, I probably shouldn't say this, but the bad thing was that was twice in a row that I did that.
Oh, Brant.
So,
how about we didn't know that, Brant?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Here it is. All right, we're showing it right here. Brant, this is you on Turner South right now at tight end.
Bottom
right there.
left-hand corner.
Yeah, bottom left-hand. Oh, there. Oh, my goodness. There it is.
Lean in a little bit. Hold, Brant. Hold. Wait a minute,
there. That's only an All-American linebacker you're about to have to block out there. So, look, and there's Dad not knowing the rule.
Yeah, we're just trying to get off the ball. Yeah. I was just calling to tell Coach Burgess that congratulations on tonight, and all of us that played for him, we love him to death, and he's our Bear Bryant, and we just want to tell him how much we appreciate those 4 or 5 years we were there, and just thanks a lot.
Well, thank you all.
I appreciate that.
Hey,
thank you so much.
Coach, will you set the record straight on something, too? Because I run into people who played for you all the time, either in high school or college. When did you start running the option?
Let's see. I think the first year we were at Oxford, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So about when was that?
That was
70.
We came to
71?
Oxford in 71. Yeah.
Okay. Did Bear Bryant visit your practice? See that?
No.
Before the Southern Cal game.
No. No. I'm sure that didn't happen.
You know, there's a rumor
actually, it was the next week.
You're right. Yeah. There was a rumor that when it was a true wishbone, that he actually had come down and sent some people to watch a few practices, and they started running.
No. No, that's out of my league, but it does sound good.
It doesn't. Well,
it's a good story. Keep telling it.
Well, don't kill it.
Great.
Let it go.
Think about this. You know, I have found the older you get, the better you were.
Oh,
you
sure,
ever notice
sure.
that?
Yeah.
It's a bad because, you know, a lot of people that really remember, they die off, you know, they don't know what the hell's going on anyway.
Right.
You know?
They can't
So the
dispute it.
older you get, the older you get,
Sure.
the better you get. Isn't it amazing?
The people who really knew are dead.
Yeah, right.
They can't dispute
They
it.
can't tell on you.
It's like here, we can say anything and then just cut them off. You know, we're the last word standing.
I actually had a guy one time compliment me on the fine blocking job I had done in a key game, and I never played offense, other than practice, my entire life. The guy said, I tell you what, you're blowing holes big enough, and I could have run through. And I said, I appreciate it, buddy. I never even played it.
Well, Rick, you tell Sherry you used to play running back. So.
Well, you know what? I got frustrated because, unless, if Sherry was on the dance line.
Right.
She knows a little bit about football, but I got frustrated trying to tell my old war stories about being a defensive lineman. See, that's the bad thing about linemen. Nobody but football people even understand it. Right. So I've just changed it. I told her I was an all-state high school quarterback and actually led the Crimson Tide to the '92 championship wearing number 7. And my nickname was Barker. And she really buys into it. It's really good.
I saw in the hall.
Yeah, they show pictures of me to the kids and everything. Of course, it's Jay, but he's got a helmet on. You can't tell. We'll go to Frank in Pell City, Alabama. Frank, how are you doing?
All right. Doing fine.
Welcome, Frank. Go ahead.
Well, I just happen to be sitting here. I live in Georgia now, but I'm from Pell City, Alabama, and I just wondered if Coach Burgess remembers some of that great high school basketball rivalry we had between Pell City and Alexander when he and his brother were in high school.
I'm afraid that's not my dad. But Frank.
Well, I didn't know you were a star basketball player in the
I
back.
went to Alexandria.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Frank, anyway, thanks.
Thank you, Frank.
Frank, it was a sweet thought.
It was.
There's another Burgess brothers out there somewhere.
There are some Alexander Burgess.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Or it's an uncomfortable moment. Somebody thinks Dad is loose scales. Let's go. God rest him.
Speaking of Pell City, how about this? Had a great year, undefeated, and it's one of your former guys that you coached with and that went to coach.
Yeah, Jay Brown.
Oh yeah,
at Pell City.
Yeah, Lord,
I finally got that.
Jay Lord,
right. Well, you know, Jay, he played for us at Oxford.
Yeah.
You know, and coached with us at Jacksonville State. He was one year. He was our recruiting coordinator. Did a great job for us. You know, there, and then has gone to Pell City, and they're undefeated, and they got one heck of a football team down there.
Yeah, you got all kinds of
Joe Billingsley,
former players
we
and
were in
coaches.
Gadsden yesterday with a CD signing, which, by the way, went great.
Yeah.
And Joe was a player for you. And
Wayne Lee coaches at Pinson Valley.
Right.
There's all kinds of them out there. They're everywhere.
Keith Maples at Springville.
Keith Henderson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Did I tell you the story about Keith Henderson throwing Speedy around like a rag doll? have I ever mentioned that? It is one of the fondest memories I have during the Rick and Bubba era.
Well, I'm not trying to say that this young man, Keith Henderson, was strong and a good offensive center, but they're doing an all-century team, and they're putting multiple people at positions because there's so many good people over the years. There's only one center, and it's Keith Henderson.
Yeah.
They said, well, we got one.
That's right.
Let's go to Stu in North Carolina. Stu, welcome to the program.
Hey, Monkey Grass.
Stu, welcome to the show.
Stu with a brew, remember from Georgia? Talked to Oliver North with you guys?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I just wanted to tell Coach Burgess, I think there's been 2 great coaches in Alabama football, you and Paul Bear Bryant.
Wow.
And, sir, I have to tell you, I've seen your films, and you are one of the greatest coaches, and I would have loved to play for you.
Well, I really appreciate that, but that's a little out of my class.
Well, hey, Bear Bryant learned the wishbone from him.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, yeah.
Hey, we probably can get away with that. Man.
There you go. I mean, what's it going to
Basketball team today.
Let's not look over that.
Let's go to Mike in Pelham, Alabama. Mike, how you doing?
Fine. How y'all?
Good.
Mike, welcome to the show.
Fine. Coach, when did you come to Banks?
That's in '63.
Well, that was him.
In '63.
1964, I was a freshman at Banks.
Now who
Caught a
is this?
bunch of us pitching pennies up in the gym when it was raining.
Mike, I can't believe that.
You said, I got a list of everybody that was lagging and come downstairs and get a lick. And I just sat there.
Uh-huh.
And you looked at me and that voice that you can't forget the voice.
No, you can't. As a matter of fact,
hear
Mike,
him in a crowd in the mall and know who that is.
yeah, Greg and I are still shell-shocked from it.
Yeah. I just sat there and you looked at me and said, don't lie to me, boy. And I said, Coach, if you got me, whip me. If you don't, don't. And he said, oh, hell, it don't matter. Get out of here.
Wait a minute. So Dad was whipping people for pitching pennies. He taught me how to pitch pennies.
I think it's time and place.
Hey, get the paddle. I don't want you to hit anybody with it, but you know, you used to be able to throw a pretty good lick. We got a paddle. You know, we paddle people for being late, which is very controversial.
Coach, I've got to ask you about a couple of things. True, and I've heard Rick tell this story, so I have to, try to verify that,
Yes.
that he actually got to hit you with a paddle one time in practice.
He sure did.
That did happen.
And now, how did that come about?
Well, we had a...
Should you tell him?
Yeah, oh, yeah. We
See what I'm talking about?
we
Now
had
it's
this
even
thing
worse.
up. We had this up, to where I told them that we was going to quit cussing.
Right.
Which is
And I see that stuck real
Yeah,
good.
right.
Yeah.
And
He's fixing to get a lick
and I
here in a
told
minute.
them, if they caught me, that they could give me a lick. Well, that didn't last.
Smarty pants over there
Right,
had
too
to.
long. So we in there, and the captains were going to do it. Well, the other ones, it was just a little...
Now, was this Robbie? Was Robbie involved?
Yeah,
in this?
Robbie Bussey, your
Robbie
cousin, got a chance to give him a lick. Bruce Harmon in Pensacola. Hey, Bruce, listening this morning.
Chickened out.
Just barely, and Gerald Wayne Matt. I waited till I was last.
Right.
I was one of the...
What did Rick do?
Well, he ran all the way across the room, lifted me up off the floor.
Like I did Kurt in that
It
garden.
was
dugout.
unreal.
And that's the truth. All right, but, we also had a rule that if you left your equipment out, then we took care of that. So after they, went home and everything, I went there and threw his shoulder pads out in the middle of the floor and got him for leaving his equipment out the next day. And I don't want to say that I hit him hard, but he had a little red ring around his neck.
Where the helmet pinned.
Right.
That was true.
We wonder where he gets it.
So I'll have to tell you that lick was not worth it.
You lit him up, though.
But you got to admit,
He did. Oh, it was, yes.
And you tried to act like it didn't hurt was the best part.
Yeah. Oh, it hurt. Boy, it hurt.
Well, so did mine. What we meant?
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
We're back, 11 minutes to the top of the hour. Those of you just joining us, having some fun reminiscing. My dad is here along with my brother, Greg Burgess. The Jacksonville State University this weekend, a big weekend. That era of football. And, because I know you don't want to say my daddy's being inducted to the Hall of Fame this weekend.
Well, hey, how about he is?
But he is, but I mean, representing an era there, and then another ceremony coming up on Saturday at the game, and a big game for Jacksonville State this weekend. So I look forward to being there, a part of that coming up on Saturday as well. More calls standing by as we reminisce. Tons of folks who played under my dad, or remember the era. Ron is in Oxford, Alabama, where Greg and I, of course, were able to play for Dad for a few years.
I bet that was some quality players there you had.
Yeah. Had the Burgess boys out there. Ron, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, Rick, it's been a while. How you doing?
I'm great.
Coach, good to talk to you.
How you doing?
Oh, just fine.
Good.
I was going. I had thought. I don't know why I thought about this a couple of weeks ago, talking about y'all playing football. But of course, you can laugh. But I was one of those band members that never got out there on the field and played. But
well, we needed. Hey, we needed. Yeah,
we got out there and played.
Yeah, we played with. I just didn't get back off the field with cuts and bruises.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but let me tell you something. Champions was one of the finest high school fight songs ever.
You got that right.
Hey, I would have remember as a kid that you're going to laugh. Beginning of the season, the band getting heat exhaustion and ambulances hauling a couple of them off. I'm serious.
So it was tough out there.
Because them uniforms?
Yeah, they were not cool uniforms. They were very hot. They look good, but boy, they're hot.
Wool is not the most fun thing to play in.
No.
I remember that.
But one thing I remember, I don't even remember which game it was, but I remember, I think it was your sophomore year, we were playing a big game, and you got called for a personal foul.
Yeah.
No.
I
Boy, I can't believe it.
And
really.
and I just remember watching you, and the reason I remember you walking off the field, and you sort of veered away from your dad.
Well, sure. Well, sure.
He reached out and grabbed you by the face mask.
Yes.
And pulled you where his chin was resting on the face mask,
Yes.
talking to you, and the whole stands went silent.
Yeah, well, he was asking me if I wanted to get pizza or hamburger after the game.
Yeah.
He was trying to help you get that flag out of your face guard.
Yeah, he was telling me that he wanted me to know at that moment how much I meant to him as a son.
But I tell you what, the thing that shows the quality of him after he got thrown on the field, he gave you a pat on the bottom and said, "Get out there and get him."
Yeah, well, look, the great thing about playing, and all the players will say this, discipline was there when it was deserved, but accolades were also there when you did it right, and that to me is the mark of a great leader, and you always felt like that, you were never being asked to do something that he wasn't willing to do, and I think that goes a long way.
Well, I don't want to bring up a sore spot about your studios yet, but are y'all still trying to find somebody to help with as far as decorating and furnishing the studios, or?
Well, we think JT will present that to us next week. We have two companies that are prepared to show us what they're going to do.
Okay.
And
they're also going to show us where the Ark of the Covenant is. We're moving along. Coach, I got to ask you, too, about one of the great kick blockers in football history you coached, Smokey Williams.
Better known as Ed Brunton and also Punkin Williams.
That's right.
He variety of names.
He could go get the punt.
By the way, he could with that old arm.
Well, sure, he could hook all the way around and get them.
Exactly right.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
He made a career of that.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, I went through the early years of Punkin. He sat right behind me in fifth grade. And, huh?
Did he bully you?
Well, no, he was, Punkin was...
That was David
Punkin-
Dillashaw.
Yeah, that was a whole different. That was school bus bully David Dillashaw.
Let's go to, and this is one of the great rumors Jeff in Pell City would like for us to deal with now that we have Dad actually in the studio. Jeff, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I've been waiting for a lot of years for him to get on the air. There's been a rumor going around for a lot of years that he was Mr. Wrestler number one in Atlanta wrestling.
It was actually Mr. Wrestling number 2.
Yeah.
That was rumored to
Jeff,
be.
if you're going to get it out there, get it right. It was number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2.
And I remember, and it was childhood friend Mickey Shadricks that began to notice that when Mr. Wrestling number 2 was wrestling, my dad was never home.
Sure.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And
their nose looked the same in that mask.
Yeah. Look at the nose, Jeff. It is. You remember how the nose would stick out from the mask?
Yep.
And also the same upper body and everything. So Dad. I mean, are you ever going to come clean about that? I mean,
Well, since Jeff called,
yeah.
I think I will admit it that, yes, I was wrestler number 2.
I knew it. I knew it. Didn't you know it?
That's it.
We're just now finding out. I'm kind of weirded out now.
Well, I mean, the pay as a high school football coach is so bad, I had to do
Sure.
that to, pay our bills where we wouldn't get thrown out of our house.
You know, it was a good move. We found the mask one time, and he claimed he had just got that because he thought we'd won it since we watched wrestling all the time.
Halloween.
Yeah, and I said, man, this one's even got blood on it. He said, yeah, it's just fake, though.
Yeah, sure.
So there it is. It's that. Jeff, thanks for revealing that this morning. Those of you who watch Georgia Championship Wrestling, a historic moment here on the program.
Unmasked, so to speak.
Unmasked. We'll be back. Prater will join us. We got more phone calls, and then we got other things coming, including James Gregory will be with us. Stay close.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba. Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba. Rick and Bubba, Rick.
We're back. It is top of the hour, the Rick and Bubba Show, 877 We Be Big. Really having a lot of fun today. Is my dad and brother joining us here on the program today, hanging out. Of course, we're celebrating. People ask, how many years did you coach? 35?
Rick, I tell you the truth,
30
I'm not
something?
sure. I think it was 35.
Was it 35, Greg? Do you know? Are you the family historian?
Come on, Greg. Well,
Come on, Greg.
You don't know.
He just keeps up with the family tree, doesn't
So
he?
you started in 63 coaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it is 2003 now, and you have been out of coaching for how long?
So I got out in 97. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Can anybody work the
Okay.
math on that?
Yeah, Speedy is
34
the
years?
mathematician.
34 years?
85 to 97.
34? 34
He was
years?
at Jack State for 12
Oh, my gosh.
years.
Is Speedy going to put this together?
He was at Jack State for 12 years. How long was he at Oxford?
14.
14? Huh?
14.
That's 26.
And then Woodlawn and Banks High School. I think it's 34.
35.
30-something.
35, because it'd be 40 if he was coaching today.
Round it
right?
up. Round it up.
And also, after Prater comes in, there are 2 former players that have actually come up and want to surprise him.
Okay,
and,
well,
and
good.
just bring him in.
Well,
How
good.
about that?
Well, we'll get Prater in here
I know you
first.
love a good surprise, Coach.
Prater played the position that was one of my dad's favorite kicker.
Time for the weather.
Oh, no, not a kicker.
He got it all together.
I somehow
If it's trouble like tornado.
But he was a very rough kicker.
Here, Mark Prater.
There we go.
When time for the weather, ain't nobody better. Here, Mark Prater.
Mark Prater.
Here, Mark Prater.
Oh, Mark Prater.
What's up, brother?
How you doing, gentlemen?
Hey, buddy.
Good
Hello,
morning
Mark.
to the Burgess crew.
Better, Mark.
Hello, Mark.
And, you know, I do have to say, even though he doesn't like me anymore because I'm a kicker, I would have done anything to play for Coach Burgess.
No, I would have liked to have you as a kicker. Now, there's kickers and there's kickers.
Yeah, Prater would have been the type of kicker that you could have.
He would have been the kind you got to have.
I got scolded for trying to run in to make the tackle.
Well, that's what I figured.
Well, and what he would have done with you, Prater, what he would have done with a kicker like you would have been kicking like old school with the neck roll on.
That's me.
With a
Number 87, yeah.
Yeah, square toe, tied back, big old, big. You can't use those anymore, can you? The old square toe. Kick?
Yeah. But they, you
gotta get
the
it on
soccer
quick.
guys have taken everything over.
Yeah.
You know.
And so their soccer, it was brought up. There it is.
It's all changed.
Well, you could be a kicker that makes attackers.
This
like,
is the way
tackles
soccer-
like Joe Nedney, and then you're out. You're done.
Yeah, then
So-
Yeah.
Well, Prater, I know that another thing that, which might have been talked about in the break a couple times, I don't even like to bring it up because we don't talk about it much on the show, is, we're all going hunting together next week.
How about Greg Burgess next week?
Yeah, Greg. Look, here's what I love. Here's what I love, even though we don't talk about hunting much on the show, because nobody wants to hear about it.
There he is.
Yeah.
Funniest man I've ever met.
Every year on this same one, I love to watch Greg, and it's documented on the new CD. Got it like we like it. It's on there. Well, Greg will announce that he's not going to pile up on fried food. He's not. Hey, by the way, I ain't doing that.
I ain't gonna get in trouble out there in them woods and have a situation.
Look, and then all of a sudden you'll look, and he'll be rolling by with a handful of fried catfish, hush puppies. Look, loud. Talking.
This how it starts with Gerald Cates go, come on, Greg. You gotta eat some more than that. You can't cook that raw. Greg, wait, Greg, eat.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg ain't gonna eat. Greg ain't gonna eat.
Hey, Mark, have you got your checkbook in case we get rode up again this year? Who's gonna check the field before we go to them? That's what I talked to Kate the other night. I said, well, what kind of bait you got laying out this year?
Oh, well, please, Greg.
I have to tell you, if you're a visitor, it's pretty tough.
Pass it on us.
Yeah.
It can't be
Well,
on
it
us.
is. I found legally it's on us.
But the story that's on the CD, you don't even know this, is about you getting a stomach attack because of fried food up in a tree stand.
Oh, that wasn't me.
And but what I love is he goes from it's not going to happen to the celebration of the fried food, and then the next morning you see that look, he's walking around in the cabin, he's just stupid. I'm so dumb. You're stupid. Anybody got any Pepto? Stupid. Yeah,
Hey, how about we're going to have a camera with Greg the entire weekend?
You realize Prater's going to do an outdoor show of this hunt.
Oh, my God.
I mean, we got to have Greg Burgess. We're gonna follow you around, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Boy, I wish you'd have had it down there that first hunt, Mark. We could have given me, you, and Bill could have really given some good footage. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, because you'd have had it on your shoulder as you were pimping me out with a
Did you pimp him out? Yeah. Look, I was honest. I told him I didn't know where anybody was because I didn't. I didn't even know where I was.
Greg brought him right to me.
Greg Burgess, when he walks up and he goes, what you got in the bag? And you turn and look at him, you go, my lunch.
What, did he live to
He's
eat?
going to shoot Greg out of the tree.
Yeah.
Well, if you're having alfalfa pellets in it.
I guess so.
You ran off my deer. No wonder there's babies.
Well, I could hear y'all talking like a mile off. I thought, what are they doing? Here he comes, him and his camouflage buddy.
What I loved is when I got back, Greg was already there, and he was not
happy.
He was looking for Lynn Winfrey, and he was ready to box.
We had to walk like a mile and a half back, and we were both trying to decide who's going to get in the fight with Lynn first.
The further we walk, the madder we got.
Yeah.
And then there was a point where Greg was declaring he was going to fight everybody. And meanwhile, I was in the woods thinking that the end of time had come, and unfortunately, I had been left behind.
Yeah.
I tried to like call my grandmother to see if she was gone, you know, because I was like, if she's gone, this is not good.
Yeah.
And because little did I know, it was kind of hard to come pick me up from my spot when everybody was trying to get out of jail.
We were too busy signing things.
Sure.
Well, that was when that guy came down where I was, you know, one of the guys to get us out of there, you know, and we were free because we was in a swamp, you know, and all the bait floated off. I guess, But anyway, he comes down there and tells me what happened and everything. I said, that can't be God. Very good.
Well, you go to all that trouble, you get all excited, you get all your stuff together, and then to have that, and there was a moment where the whole weekend was over. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Oh, that guy shut it down. He said, y'all are done.
Yeah, we negotiated the continuing of the weekend. I don't know if y'all remember that.
When I handed my gun down to him, he wanted my gun unloaded, and I handed it down to him. He said, "What kind of gun is this?" I said, "It's a 7 mag," and he goes, That's pretty big for a deer." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, it was a birthday or a Christmas gift for my wife," and he goes, "Well, she's going to hate it when I take it." And I said, "Wow, you aren't kidding, are you?"
Yeah.
And come to find out, you know, he turned out to be this guy was a jerk, but
well, there it is.
Now, praise.
is this guy in particular? Hey,
Praise
I
Mark.
support. I
have no comment. I support the game and fish.
This one guy.
Yeah, and I thought
he was a loser.
And I thought it was in bad taste when he took your 7 mag and said, "Well, that ain't much of a scope on it."
You know, really,
excited about this as a present.
you know, it was really kind of educational to me. I'd never seen alfalfa squares before.
No.
But the thing, it was awful strange. He kept asking about my kids, and I thought, what do they got to do with this? You know, they're about 2.
Yeah, what was it? Was that some kind of scare tactic there? We're going to come get your kids?
I don't know what to.
I mean, I thought alfalfa, cubes is one thing, but taking my kids away, that seems a bit extreme.
I know.
You know, hey, they said something about a couple of players out in the hall wanting to come in.
Oh, great.
All right, so
Are they too? Ain't that what he said?
yeah, we got a couple of former players, Prater, they're about to come up.
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah, so we're gonna, and Don Juan is bringing them in, so we'll.
Hey, this one guy was.
Yeah. Oh, there's one. This guy really did a good job. Ladies and gentlemen, Scooby-Doo has just walked in, and there's Scooby, and
No wonder we got on probation.
There's actually one more, Rick. Now it's
Great
the room's so
defensive
big.
end he was.
Go ahead and jump out, Scooby, real quick, because I know there's another gentleman here.
See you, Scoob.
This guy here, I mean, has this guy here, he has a football head, that's for sure.
There's Arnold. Arnold from Hey Arnold has just come in too. Hey, great years at Jack State. Well done, Arnold.
Always hard to fit the helmet.
Is on their own at the Alabama International Auto Show just because of you.
He took too many shots to the head right there.
Yeah, he looks like he took a couple shots to the head.
Isn't he from Piedmont?
So they're actually walking the halls with the Alabama International Auto Shows at the Civic Center this weekend, and these two guys will be there, and of course your coach B. Prater, how we looking? Real cold everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty cold all across anywhere that we're on the air. So, yeah, it's looking like it's going to be pretty chilly. Let's just hope it happens a week from today.
Yes.
Which I'm thinking that at this point it's going to be fairly cool. So we're in pretty good shape. I can't wait to hang out with Coach Burgess and Greg. Two of my favorite people right there.
Hey, Mark, look, there's a rumor there could be severe weather next week. Any possibilities?
Yeah, around the southeast we could see some active weather on Monday.
Well, Mike at the convenience store was predicting it, so I don't know. I was going to see how it matched up with your forecast.
Yeah. You know, really, though, hey, if we could have
His knee was hurting him, wasn't it?
Hey, if we... But look, not that I care about hunting next weekend, because, I don't even care.
Right.
But if we were to get a nasty front early in the week and it all kind of fade away going into the week...
Knock the dust.
And maybe since Ryan Greenwood's here, he'll actually learn how to use a weapon this year.
Hey, by the way, Ryan is on our show this Sunday.
All right, so what? Check local listings.
9:30 on ABC 3340.
Mark, I'm concerned you giving him a loaded gun after the way the Dolphins are playing.
I'm going to step up and say Ryan Greenwood can flat out shoot a rifle. He's good.
Well, if he knows how to.
And I got it on tape, so we'll show it Sunday morning.
All right, so he did do all right once he got it to work.
Yeah, now it was a little entertaining, but yeah, it was.
Hey, did you hear about me getting a bad email that I said? Because those you don't know, Ryan had the biggest deer of the weekend last year on opening weekend, and he didn't know how to make his gun work. So I told him until he takes a deer or shoots the gun correctly, his nickname's Jessica Lynch. And so people got Well, and look, that was just
her gun jam.
My gosh, she said it. I mean, that's not anything against her as an American hero. I'm just talking about she said her gun jam, and so did Ryan's. I don't know why y'all got so upset about it. So Jessica, you ready to go this weekend? Next weekend?
Hey, yeah, I'm ready.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So
and it's on me until I shoot a deer. It's on me.
So in other words, Prater, your show has him sighting in a gun. Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're gonna have him not only sighting in the gun, but some of his results that I think you guys want to see.
Well, catch it this weekend if ABC 33.
Shoot it this time, Rick.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks.
Is it true Rick Bragg wanted to write a story about his hunt last year when his gun jammed?
Pulitzer Prize winner.
Hey, how about Rick hasn't changed much, has he?
Is it weird? Thanks, Prater, and look forward to next week. We're going to have a blast.
See you guys.
And catch the show Sunday if ABC 3340 is your ABC affiliate, 9:30 Central Time. All right, we'll be back. James Gregory will join the fray. And if should we drop James Gregory in the middle of what's already going on? It's going to be fun. Stay close. We'll be right back.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Yeah, with the Rick and Bubba show, it has been quite a day here. Anytime my dad and my brother are here this morning, and then James Gregory comes in. Scooby-Doo has been here. Hey Arnold's here. Ryan Greenwood's here. I mean, it just goes on.
I was talking to you, Dad, a while ago during the break, and thanks to your success that you've had here on the Rick and Bubba show,
yes,
he no longer has to co-sign. He's so relieved about that. I know.
That's a big step in anybody's life.
I'm gonna tell you, my dad and my brother are two of your biggest fans. So I mean, I know you met them at Fat Fest, I think, or before, but be able to hang out.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's and you played a little ball and had quite a football history, and I know that was something that we're all proud of too.
At Tech,
Me played football.
Yeah.
I don't even watch football. It makes me tired. It just takes too much out of my day. I know we're in football country. I'm more into pro wrestling.
Right.
I think football's fake. Really, I do. Really. That's what that huddle is all about. Oh, well, they won last time. Let us win this time. You don't see Ric Flair whispering to Hulk Hogan. They just get in there and wrestle.
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah.
That's the kind of background I'm from. I grew up. My uncles and everything. That's the cultural background I'm from.
Right.
Where we think wrestling is real and the moon landing was fake.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
My Uncle Charlie believed that. Hell, they didn't go to the moon. It was about at Channel 5 Studios where they did that.
Channel 5?
Yeah.
He even knows where it was done.
Right.
Hey, I still have arguments back when the space shuttle was flying. I have relatives that think that the space shuttle causes bad weather. They said we have tornadoes every time they launch it.
Well, I could top that. My mother, God bless her, thinks that the reason we have worse weather now than we used to is because Guy Sharp retired. I swear. I'm not making that up.
Is he a famous weatherman?
Long-time meteorologist in Atlanta, Georgia. 31 years.
The guy had the big eyebrows.
White hair.
Yes,
white hair. Solid white hair.
Yeah.
He retired, and we just had all kinds of bad weather since then.
He was holding it back, wasn't he?
Yeah. So that's why I brought that up,
Yeah, and, it's the thing that gets me so much is how they believe that, the whole thing about going to the moon, that was the one that really, really is something, that we did it all in a studio, and
oh, yeah.
And it all was completely fake. And
well, now, a lot of that kind of indirectly related to that. See, I happen to be one of those people who don't believe there's life on other planets. We keep going to Mars and going here trying to see if there's another life form out there. And I just know that there's not. If you watch, because, see, if you believe that UFOs exist, and most people do believe that, or pretend to, then you are more intelligent than us.
Somebody's got to be driving.
Intelligent enough to come from another planet millions of miles away, come down here and visit, hang around 3 or 4 days, and not even be seen by anybody, return another 12 million miles, never refuel. Now, that's what you believe. So here's what you got to believe, that this life force is that intelligent to do all that, but yet when they come here, they never land like in New York. Times Square. They never do. They never land like in Orlando. They never go to Disney World or nothing.
The White House.
They always land next to a hog pen in Arkansas. That's why nobody believes that exists. We end up with Ted Koppel interviewing a pig farmer. You know, hell yeah, I seen it. I was out there on blocks. It wasn't broke down. We just wanted the front yard to look good. Yeah. I mean, you never see a guy, a professor in a three-piece suit. Yes, one landed on our patio. It's never that.
Right.
You know. See?
They can navigate galaxies and light years, but they can't find the White House.
Well, see,
I
just don't think that can be done. I mean, can you see this family of aliens up on another planet, say, with a long weekend coming up? Okay?
Yeah.
And they promised the kids a trip.
Yeah, right. Sure.
Here they are out in the driveway, loading the spaceship with the stuff they need. You know, bucket of chicken.
Right, sure.
Tater salad. Fuzz buster. I mean, you know they're going to be speeding.
Right, sure.
And the father said to the kids, all right, kids, if y'all got to pee, you better pee now. We're not stopping every planet we come to. Okay. All right. And go through all that just to land in Arkansas. I just don't believe it.
Right.
Yeah.
Good logic, Jay.
But the bottom line is this. If there was life on other planets, we'd have sent them some foreign aid by now.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
You know, yeah. No, I think it's just us. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, you know, to me, that makes it even more special.
Yeah. For a long time, I didn't even believe there was other countries till I went there.
But you've seen them now firsthand.
Really?
You thought that was made up.
Really? People used to ask me this. They, James, what's your ancestry? Where are your, you know, forefathers from? You know, and I'd say Cordele. You know, South Georgia is what I thought, you know. No, they mean, I mean your heritage. You know, I said, no, when the Pilgrims got here from right over here on the Mayflower, my kinfolks were staying there. We were with the Indians. Yeah.
Still in South Georgia.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, you know, some supper.
Right.
That was my kinfolk. You know. No, you know I was overseas.
Oh, I know. Yeah, we talked to you.
Went to see the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, went to Italy, Spain, and Greece. I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's a lot of foreigners overseas.
Oh.
And not one Waffle House. Yeah.
That's a shame.
When they first contacted me about going was a few weeks after the 7/11 incident. That's when I went to the Middle East.
Yes.
We was dropping bombs all over Afghanistan. And we did find bin Laden. You know, I was concerned about that because the caves and everything. President Bush, I told him before we went over there. Now, I don't want you to think I'm bragging. It's not like that he called me or nothing. First Lady Laura Bush called me. And she was wanting my recipe for banana pudding.
Because everybody knows.
Right. And she said,
world famous.
before I hang up, the president wants to talk to you. And I said, tell him to make it snappy wrestling zone. Well, here's what I told him then. I'll tell him now if he'd call again. We could avoid all these troops on this bin Laden thing. Initially, they should have just taken my cousin, Uncle Charlie's oldest boy, J.W.
Yes.
Just flew him over there. And when you got off the plane, give J.W. a shotgun. Show him a picture of Osama and say, this is the guy that stole your truck. And I just believe we'd have it by now. That's just what I believe, you know.
We'll be back. James Gregory back in Birmingham this weekend at the Comedy Club Stardome.
We've added an afternoon show Saturday, 4:30 in the afternoon.
So there's a matinee.
Yeah, because everything's selling out.
So if they told you it's sold out, say, well, I'll take some tickets to the matinee.
Afternoon show.
Afternoon show on Saturday. Right. So that's an additional show. Contact them at 205-444-0008 for the Comedy Club Stardome in Birmingham. We'll be back. Points the finger in this direction, so we're back. 877-WE-BE-BIG. We're going to take some phone calls. James Gregory, our guest again. They have added an additional show this weekend. Time on Saturday at the Comedy Club Stardome. So if they tell you it's sold out, ask for tickets to that. Also, we are getting calls. We are going hunting next weekend. Lynn Winfrey at Sportsman's Paradise always sets that opening weekend hunt up for us. And at Sportsman's Paradise in Oxford, Alabama, this Saturday, Chris Hammonds, relief pitcher for the New York Yankees, will be there signing autographs from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central. And then that afternoon, Todd Jones of the Boston Red Sox and friend of the show will be there signing autographs beginning at 2 p.m. So they'll all be hanging out there this weekend, and they will also be hunting with us the following weekend. So we'll tell you more about that as we get closer. Yesterday, Bubba, Gadsden, Alabama.
Back to where it all began, the City of Champions. And, wow, Rick, a lot of love yesterday. We sure enjoyed getting back and seeing everybody, getting to spend a little time with them. And it was good to see everybody in Gadsden again yesterday.
Yeah, thank y'all. We got some footage on Turner South of it yesterday. We had a great turnout. You know, it's funny how all of it kind of comes together today. We've been looking back, too, at the historic years of when my dad and those great coaching staffs and players were at Jacksonville State. The reason we ended up putting the show in Gadsden was because of that national championship game. I was working at another station that told me I had to work that day. I abided by that, and I thought they had asked the place I had to work if I could miss, because they told me they did.
Right.
Well, I get there, and the guy I'm doing the live broadcast from says, "What are you doing here? I thought you'd be at the national championship game." I said, I'm here because you told me to be here. And he said, "I never said that. They never asked me about it." So I got mad about it. Bubba called me from the national championship game that we watched earlier on the program, told me if I had been working at the Gadsden station, I would have been there, and I quit and went to Gadsden. That's how we all got together.
Yeah, I enjoyed the celebration. 50-yard line. Matter of fact, give your mother.
You did. Thanks. And that worked.
Strange twist of events, but wow.
And the results are in.
And when I first met y'all were the guests.
Yeah, so that we went back. We're on Mix 102.9 there now, and this was an ice cream cake you'll see on TV that we got, and I know that excites you guys.
It does.
Look at that. Edible logos.
Yeah. Look, the Dairy Queen there sent that to us, and look, it has all the logos on it. It actually has our pictures and stuff on the cake, which is kind of cool. Look at that. Got it like we like it. So
from the Dumb and Dumber.
Yes, the Dumb and Dumber shots that we did, and there's a number of folks that came out. So thank you to Crown Chrysler Dodge Kia for hosting the event, because really for them they put out a lot of money to make it happen, and it really turned into just kind of a homecoming celebration. I know a lot of people may think about them down the road, but yesterday we kind of took over their place of business, and I appreciate them allowing us to do that.
What a great group of folks too.
Yeah, so there it is, and thanks Mix 102.9. There's Clay Bow, who we want to be our next intern, where we want to do a series with Clay, who was in a wheelchair. We think Clay might be able to get interviews nobody else could get, because he could say, "What, you won't talk to me because I'm in a wheelchair?"
Right. I mean, who's going to turn Clay down?
Nobody.
And play that sympathy angle.
And let him drive the vehicle so we can get good parking.
Yeah. Legendary broadcaster Dave Fitz here, Rick.
Here's Dave Fitz. Dave Fitz, us doing an impression of him led to Dickie Nadmeyer, because it's almost Dickie Nadmeyer. How news, Dave Fitz. And Dave actually
hired Sherry, so you met her.
Yeah, Sherry, my wife, was hired by that man right there, and bringing her into that building, I met my wife through Dave Fitz. Isn't that strange?
That is very strange.
And there's Dee's godson, right? In that dumb one's godson?
Yeah,
Duke. Hey, Duke, what's up, brother? So there's a lot of folks that came out yesterday, and we thank you so much for it.
What a great turnout.
Thanks,
Rick. Blew me away.
It did. 877 We Be Big Enough.
A little shocked, I'll have to tell you, to see Roy Webb legend Dennis Holmesley yesterday. First on
he ran
lot.
The place. Dennis Holmesley ran the lot yesterday, Greg.
He owned it.
You missed it, but I'm going to tell you what, he led the charge yesterday.
And a bit of a surprising moment when slightly removed third cousin Tammy Casey showed up.
I wish you wouldn't talk about that.
Well, listen to the CD. I think you'll understand.
Yeah, listen to the CD. It was the most uncomfortable moment is when Bubba began to talk to his cousin and forget that her husband was standing there. That and I shook his hand and tried to say very loudly, "Nice to meet your husband." You know what I mean? Because I'm not sure he wanted to hear. I'm not sure he wanted to hear about the treehouse.
Yeah, you said slightly removed third cousin.
Well,
it's okay to flirt with them.
Yeah,
it's the first cousins that in some states get you in trouble.
Yeah. Well, we have a whole segment about that on our new CD.
Yeah.
And we all admitted that we, at some time in our past, because of family reunions, found a cousin attractive.
Well,
now Rick dated one, but I think that was a little much.
That is
and
not
he
true.
was driving himself, which was all different.
And she was adopted, so it doesn't count. What I'm saying,
that makes y'all a step above the Gregories. You talk about how, you found some of your cousins attractive.
Sure.
There's the attractive they didn't run in the Gregory clan. It's like, well, why'd you marry your cousin? Well, hell, he's working. It's just like, he's married for jobs,
right, so it's different.
Yeah. he's civil service. You better grab him.
He's good for the long haul.
What a good one. All right, to the phones. We go to Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia, watching on Turner South. Tim is standing by. Tim, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, Monkey Grass.
Hey, welcome,
Glad you called, Tim.
I'm a longtime listener, and I've been listening to y'all up in Tennessee, and then I moved down to Georgia, and now I have to get you on Turner South, and boy, I'm glad I'm able to get you.
Well, thanks.
Listen, I just wanted to call. I was at Jacksonville State University in 91 and 92, and Coach, I was the hall director of Lettrell Hall, and at one point, and you and I had many conversations, and I always got real nervous coming in there to talk to you, and you just treated me like real good folk, and I just really appreciate it. I'm glad to see that you're being honored by JSU, and I just wanted to call and to say thank you for all you've done for all of us.
I really appreciate that. And, you know, if you were hall director, I guess we did have a lot going. But I sure appreciate you looking after us, and thank you so much for calling.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Let's go to Melinda in Oxford, Alabama. Melinda, how you doing?
Hi, Rick.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
I'm on my way to Fairhope. Oxford's playing in the state playoffs.
Yeah.
And I was just calling to congratulate Coach Burgess on being inducted. That's wonderful.
Is this the
I was
former,
listening to you on my way down there.
the former Melinda Vaughn?
Yeah.
Yeah, cheerleader at Oxford. Yeah, the whole time we were there. Well, you know,
can you hear okay, Greg? Can you hear okay? I didn't know.
His headphones on.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Melinda, when I looked up, how in the world did Oxford, Alabama, those of you that know the geography, it's in northeast Alabama, how have they been moved into the southern region and now playing down on the Gulf of Mexico?
Exactly. They put us in the region that is the northern region. We are the very top of the northern region, so we didn't make it in the southern region for some reason.
That's strange, but
I have heard that they're going to do all of that again. So hopefully we'll get to play the teams that we have rivals with instead of people we have no idea who we're playing.
Yeah, well, we're on down that way, so I'm sure the Fairhope High School people are anxiously awaiting the arrival, so that it'll be our old high school playing down there. So good luck to all of them.
Melinda, the message we got, or what we hear, is that they will go back start going north this next year, which would put it back at Gadsden and some of those places. So
right, that's what
hopefully that'll happen.
Yeah, but at least when you go to play, you're close to the beach.
Yeah,
you know, that's a good thing.
See, that's where I'm going. I'm
tied into vacation.
Right now.
Well, Melinda, thanks, and a lot of great memories. And when Dad was there, and we were all playing there and all going to school together. So tell everybody we said hello, and I hope we win tonight.
Well, and good luck on your hunting trip. I just die laughing every time I hear your stories when you come back. And
yeah.
I teach with Leslie, which is Gerald's wife, so we get to hear some of those stories at school.
There's a woman with patience right there.
Let me tell you, Gerald Cate's wife, we need to just honor her on the show one day, just for what she's been through.
Yes, and she has 2 boys like I do, so I...
But no, we don't talk about hunting here on this show.
Yeah, you know, Melinda, we don't talk about hunting much. No. Melinda, thanks. Y'all be careful going down and have a good time.
Okay, tell Greg I said hello.
I will. We'll also get a call.
Why is Coach Burgess laughing? That's what I want to know. Ryan, what are y'all doing?
Right there.
Hey, that bunch here will do you right there. I see.
Hey, there's you some friends right there. And Speedy, of all people, being the person. That's what seems so inappropriate.
You think he...
Let's go to Eddie. Eddie, welcome to the program, Eddie. Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, Eddie.
Monkey Grass.
Thanks for calling, Eddie. Thanks.
I just got a question for the coach. I was just wondering if, in your years of coaching, when you were wrestling and they overlapped, if you ever had a brain freeze and happened to discipline your players with that knee lift you used to use in wrestling.
Well, you know, it only happened one time.
Right.
And, you know, I was able to control it and keep it separate most of the time. But that one time, you know, after we got through with the court case and all the lawyers were paid and everything, I learned not to do that again.
Yeah. James, you may not have heard, Rick's dad was Mr. Wrestling #2.
You remember him in
original
Georgia
Championship Wrestling?
Did you know that?
I remember him. I didn't recognize without your mask.
Birmingham, Alabama. Is this Alan Doss?
Yes, it is.
Alan Doss standing by. What's up, Alan?
Hey, how you doing, Rick?
Good.
Coach Burgess, congratulations. Long time waiting for that. I tell you, it's an honor to be associated with someone of yourself and working for you as long as I did. Tell you, the one thing that I wanted to say was you talked about Mississippi State and him going down there to coach and being a running team. You know, on 3rd and 55, ask Coach Burgess what he had run.
Yeah, was that the world-famous in Delta, Mississippi, the Delta State game?
Delta State, he walked by Coach Mann when he was looking for a play-action pass and said, you better run the fullback, that's all I'm going to tell you.
3rd and 55.
Well, it was more like a draw, though.
Right.
Oh, it was close to that.
Yeah. Well, you said, you know, let's try to act like we're going to pass, then hand it off.
No, to be honest with you, I told him, I said, Charlie, we need one first down, don't you throw that damn thing.
Well, I just wanted to say congratulations. congratulations.
Hey, Alan, thanks for a lot of great memories when you played there also. Thanks. Y'all all be honored this weekend.
Thank you, man.
All right, man. So many things. I know. This is that moment in life where you go, okay, we're probably, do you continue and let it continue to build? Or
because there's trouble out there.
Sure. Anyway, so we'll be right back. More with James Gregory. Dad, Greg, thanks. Good to see y'all again this morning.
We know Speedy. Hey, Rick, let's take some more calls.
Rick and Bubba.
77 We Be Big is our number. Back, James Gregory, the funniest man in America, is our guest. My dad is here this morning, also along with hard-working pole climbing, two-belt wearing Greg Burgess here this morning.
It is a motley crew. Ryan Greenwood over your shoulder, JT stumbling in.
Oh, my gosh. JT's here, Ryan Greenwood and Speedy. I mean, if anybody remotely gets just right under it.
Have you noticed that nobody in this room has a real job?
No.
you got radio, you got comedy, you got this football stuff.
Actually,
nobody in this room has ever seen a time clock. What you mean, punch in?
Who was it? Was it Granny that used to ask you all the time when you gonna get a job and quit playing around with football?
My Uncle Charlie did that.
So you had the same problem?
God rest his soul. My dad, who's long gone now too, but every month, the first of the month, my dad would go get Uncle Charlie, take him around, get his check, cash, and pay his bills. And there's three of us. There was me, my brother, and my sister. All right. And my sister retired some years ago. She was with the Crystal Corporation. But every month, he'd ask my dad to stay.
With the what corporation?
Crystal, the burgers.
How happy were you having that inroad? Well, that was a happy day.
Oh, yeah. Because even now, you get a sack of them for $5.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You get a sack of them for $2.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, so my brother's a plumber. So every month, he'd ask my dad the same thing. Here's how it went. My dad would tell me this story, and I'd get tickled, but my dad would say, it's not funny, it's driving me crazy. They're on 285, my dad's pickup, Uncle Charlie. Old people can't hear. They think the world can't hear. They always talk too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's Melvin? Melvin's still plumbing. Yeah, Charlie is still plumbing. Been plumbing for 20 years. Well, he ought to stay with that. Plumbers make more money than lawyers. Ma'am, I'm still retired. Yeah, Charlie, she ain't gonna never work again. She's disabled. All right. How about Junior? That'd be me.
Yeah.
Charlie, I told you Junior has a job. He's a comedian. I don't mean jokes, damn it, I mean jobs. I tell you, every month.
I don't mean jokes.
Every month. I don't mean jokes, damn it, I mean a job. He never thought I had a job.
Yeah. Well, my brother.
I hate that James can't go hunting with us next weekend.
James, go with us.
I wish I could.
Campfire comedian James Gregory.
You can just hang out.
I love guns, and I love being around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go with us. You working next weekend?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Come on.
I'll be in Columbus, Mississippi next Friday night.
Oh, that's right.
The Trotter Civic Center.
Yeah, so if you get tickets for that, because you said you was worried about that one.
I'm always worried about ticket sales.
Yeah.
I always worry about ticket sales.
Because you don't know.
Because, I don't get a guarantee. It's percentage. Really?
But Greg works for the power company, so he makes fun of all of us all the time for not having jobs. He's kind of like your
He's
uncle.
probably the one in the room with the 401k.
Oh, I would agree with that. Yeah.
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 I got a big, I use these big plastic Coca-Cola bottles that are about 3 feet high.
Yeah.
2 feet. I got 3 of those full of coins in my laundry room. People say, Jason, what's all them coins in here? That's my 401k right there. That's my whole retirement, my coin.
Unfortunately, the way the stock market's been, everybody else's 401k is also a jar full of pennies right now, but starting to bounce back. Randy wants to talk to you, James, in Albany, Georgia.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so how you doing? Good morning. Welcome to the show, Randy.
Good morning, Monkey Grass.
Hey, Monkey Grass, thanks a lot for calling. We're glad you called in, and thanks for listening to us on K-Country 104.
Albany, Georgia. I'm very familiar with that town. Matter of fact, they passed an ordinance down there this past year. You cannot smoke indoors anywhere, not even in a Waffle House.
Very true.
In the city of Albany.
Really?
Yeah, it's a shame. That's almost like New York. But, we'll get that repealed eventually. You got them good old boys down there. They ain't going to put up with that very long.
What I think smokers need to do is your protest should be, we're at least going to smoke in the buildings we built with the tax money off of what we did.
Well, see, I don't protest at all because I just ignore the regulations. If this is true. Here's what happened to me, if he don't mind me taking a little bit of his time.
No,
See, in Charlotte, North Carolina, I was staying at this brand new high-rise Holiday Inn.
Yes.
And I was smoking at the check-in counter. Oh, really? And the young man behind the counter said, "Sir, you cannot smoke in the lobby." I said, "Do you have a badge or a gun?" He said, "Of course not." I said, "Well, hell, I'm smoking." You know what he did? He got me an ashtray. So let me tell you, see, these smokers that whine about this all the time,
yeah.
Well, you see that little sign in the lobby. It's just a sign. It's just a sign. Now, let's say it is a city ordinance.
Okay.
And let's say they call the police. All right? Hello, Charlotte Police. Yeah, this is the night after the Holiday Inn. There's a man in the lobby smoking a Marlboro. What's going to happen? Even if the cop comes, time he gets there, you put it out. and he's just going to say, "Don't do that again. I'm on my way to a robbery call." You know?
Sure, yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's just you can't be intimidated by these little whippy people in the lobby.
Right, and signs.
Yeah, these little granola munching bottled water sipping people.
Yeah.
They're in charge of all this.
Yeah.
You know.
And how they drink that water.
Sip, sip, sip. You know. Did you know that I have never bought a bottle of water in my life?
Well, no.
Not one bottle. You know why? I have something in my house that I thought everybody had. It's called faucets. Even when I go on the road, these hotel rooms got a faucet.
Yeah.
It's just free.
Right.
It's free.
You're right.
Yeah, I hate to be in a convenience store and I'm buying a Coke, okay, and it's 89 cents. And the guy next to me has got 12 ounces of water, $1.09. And I tell him, I say, "You know that's just water in there." Really? Really, I just tell him, that's water. You know, $1.09 for 16 ounces of water.
Right.
That's $2.38 a quart. You know, that's $4.36 a half a gallon. That's $9.72 a gallon they're paying for water. And while they're sipping on that, they're complaining because 93 octane fuel is $1.55. You know.
And how they drink it.
Little granola munching mindless. I said mindless.
We can feel it coming now.
Yeah.
Granola munching mindless. That's all I said.
That's right. You're fine.
Y'all made Speedy nervous.
You were slipping on the ice. We were running to have you.
You scared me, too.
All right, well, Randy, what was your question real quick for James?
I saw you years ago back in Atlanta. Do you still use some of the same stuff where, like the fat lady and how much gas you got to put in the airplane, and the airplane that left as a hard top and came back as a convertible?
Yes, sir. I haven't wrote a new joke since 1988. Yes, sir. It'd be the same
Well, it takes
stuff.
up so much time.
Well, I'm not smart enough.
Yeah, well,
I'm not smart enough.
You're basically telling the world, I've given you my best stuff, and it's kind of like a band that's traveling around playing the hits.
It would be foolish for, we talked about Dreamland a while ago, it'd be foolish for them to change the recipe.
Yes, it would.
So I got the best act in the country, why mess with it?
Sure.
Yeah.
James Stakes, James Gregory.
Thank you.
Catch him in Birmingham. We got an extra show that's been added on Saturday. Dad, Greg, thanks.
Coach, congratulations.
Looking forward to the weekend. We'll have a blast, and we'll tell you all about it when we get back on Monday. If you still got an hour of radio, stick around. We'll be back. If you leave us now, have a great weekend. See ya.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Rick and Bubba's in Ohio!
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Pass the gravy, please.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Ooh, it brings me to my knees.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
I can't start another
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
day without 'em, brother.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Ooh, there is no other
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
waking on their blubber.
Rick and